Good evening, everybody. Match 16 of the 1979 Cricket World Cup in Sri Lanka was played today. In Sri Lanka, I think I may have already said that, but what the hell. On Brian Lara Cricket on PlayStation. Match was played in Colombo. It was between West Indies versus Ireland. The winner of this match would be the second team to qualify for the World Cup quarterfinals here in Sri Lanka. West Indies looking to keep up their relentless form. Ireland looking to cause the biggest upset ever in cricket history. But let's have a look at the scorecard. This press me thing. I think that's a lot better. You'll be a little bit surprised to know West Indies won the toss, and there was a huge groan because he actually decided to field first. Clive Lloyd. For the second time, they've won the toss on a sort of hard pitch and elected to field first. It was hard. It was a hard, fast pitch in Kandy when they reduced Australia to 159 for 9 for their 50 overs. And it was a drier pitch. This time he bowled first because the dry pitches here in Sri Lanka have been playing up early on in the innings. But Ireland played magnificently well and certainly gave themselves credit throughout the entire match. An absolute glorious performance. As you can see, the top of the order, they were 104 for 3 from 32 overs. They really got stuck in there. Christopher Chappell, 14 of 55 deliveries, 45 of 115 deliveries for Glenroy Seeley. Sort of a contender potentially for man of the match, but in the end it didn't get given to him. We'll talk about that later. Franklin Dennis, 25 of 55 deliveries, 10 of 33 for Martin Stead. Cecil Marshall, 8. A duck for John Vaughan. Captain Brian Merceret hit 14. 2 for Tucker Javed. Jihad Patel, 0. And 1 not out for Cecil Henry, and John Valentine faced 1 ball and didn't score. But they were, as getting back to the performance, they were 104 for 3 at one stage and looked like they were going to get 160, 170. But in the end, they lost their final. They lost 7 wickets in the end for just 35 runs. West Indies coming good. I'll tell you what, they were distracted. I think they were distracted, West Indies, because as you can see, this is quite big, what I'm about to see. One of the key bowlers bowled 3 overs for 11 runs, Colin Croft. He went off with what looked like a hamstring injury. It turned out it was only cramp. So Clive Lloyd did say he was expecting in Colin Croft to be fit for the match against Rebel South African 11 in 4 days' time for the West Indies. A match that could guarantee them top spot in the group. They never really lost patience, West Indies. It would have been very easy for them to lose patience the way Ireland were playing, but that was absolutely, they kept plugging away. 11 for 1 for Collis King. Once again, Vivian Richards, 3 for 28. He's having a brilliant tournament with the ball. 27 for 1 for Andy Roberts. 18 for 1 for Joel Gardner. But he came back strongly. 3 for 26. It's for Michael Holding. I think he was the best bowler for the West Indies today. But Ireland packed out the full 50 overs for 139 for 9 for their 50 overs. A credit to themselves. And in the field, they were very impressive as well. The first time that Gordon Greenwich was dismissed, out for 21, bowled by the inform Cornelius Henry, who took his 6th wicket of the tournament here. 61 of 66 deliveries, and what was turned out to be a man of the match performance for sorry, I'm having brain freeze right now, as I always do on these videos. 61 of 66 deliveries for Desmond Haynes, and Vivian Richards, 18 off 25 deliveries. He got an absolutely unplayable delivery for Martin Stead. He did pretty well. He did pretty well to even edge that. First batting of the tournament for Clive Lloyd and Alvin Karicharan. Karicharan hit 29 of 22 deliveries, and Clive Lloyd finished it. Captain Clive Lloyd finished it with 3 boundaries in a row, 12 of just 3 deliveries. In the end, 141 for 3. They won in 29 overs exactly, West Indies, so they'll be pretty happy with that. But Ireland in the field, 3 wickets and some really good fielding. proved crucial, as said before. 1 for 29 for Glenroy Seeley. Brilliant game. 1 for 26 for Martin Stead. 21 for 0 for John Vaughan. 18 for 0 for the spinner Jihad Patel. 1 for 22 for Cornelius Henry, bowled terrifically, and 0 for 25 for John Valentine. For John Valentine, it's a bit expensive, but Ireland show great commitment throughout the match. They've been an absolute pleasure in this World Cup so far. West Indies, final outcome. West Indies won the toss and let their bat on a sort of hard, dry pitch. Colombo bowled mainly due to the fact that most of the dry pitches in Sri Lanka, they've been playing up pretty early on in the innings. But Ireland didn't have no problems. They were in a good position, but then they lost the last 6 wickets for very little. I think it was 35 or 36 runs. They did bat the full 50 overs, 139 for none of their 50 overs. West Indies comfortably chased runs down in the end, but Ireland showed great commitment in the field and took 3 wickets. 141 for 3. West Indies winning 29 overs, winning by 7 wickets. A second man of the match award for Desmond Haynes. 61 off 66 deliveries. Just wanted to check, not make a mistake there. West Indies winning by 7 wickets and qualifying for the quarterfinals of the Cricket World Cup. The second country to qualify for the World Cup quarterfinals here in Sri Lanka, alongside England. They're top of the group, 3 wins out of 3. Ireland still in a wonderful position. Tomorrow's match, the battle of the associate members, or the associate member against the soon-to-be test playing nation. Bangladesh against the host nation, Sri Lanka. Victory for Sri Lanka would put them in pole position to reach for quarterfinals. Bangladesh know that anything other than defeat tomorrow, anything other than victory tomorrow, and their World Cup is basically going to be over, and it'll be all down to the Dutch match, the Dutch against Holland, to see whether they finish bottom of the group. But let's have a look at the West Indies. You'll notice that Mr. Gordon Greenidge and Vivian Richards are going to have average with a bat now in the tournament. Save the archives so that we can keep these historical tracking devices here. Really has been brilliant from the West Indies. 3 wins out of 3 emphatic wins as well. Just 163 average for Gordon Greenidge. Just 163 average for Gordon Greenidge. His first dismissal of the tournament. Just want to check whether he's actually the highest run scorer. No, it isn't. It's still Sadiq Mohammed. So I think he's the second highest run scorer in the tournament. Not going to go through everything. A first dismissal for Vivian Richards. Second, 73 average. But look at that. 5 wickets in 3 matches, an average of 10. He's actually the leading wicket taker for the West Indies in this World Cup. And who would have thought that? He's playing a huge part with his leg spin. First runs for Clive Lloyd. He's captained the team well again. 4 wickets in 3 matches for Joel Garner. An average 20. Surely it will get better. And a nightmare start. Didn't take a wicket and thought he was injured for Colin Croft. Averaging 33 in the tournament. 2 wickets in 3 matches. But turned out he had cramp. Hopefully he'll play against the Rebel South African 11. Malcolm Marshall will be on standby just in case he doesn't. So the West Indies are the second team to qualify for the 1979 Cricket World Cup quarterfinals. Tomorrow's match, Bangladesh versus the host nation Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka hoping to bounce back from their disappointing defeat against England, whereas Bangladesh looking to produce a good performance against Sri Lanka. I think it could be a 50-50 match. Sri Lanka have the stronger batting side, but Bangladesh's batting has been their main strength in this tournament, even though they managed only 188 for 9. Just have a look at what I've written on there. 174 and 187. And they've constantly gone at 4.5 runs and over. So it could be interesting tomorrow to see what will go on. So until tomorrow for the match between Bangladesh, the Group 1 match between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, here in Sri Lanka, in the 1979 Cricket World Cup. This is me, Lawrence Howard, and I'll see you tomorrow for the match report between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Until then, bye-bye from me.